So now that all 6 episodes have aired, let's discuss the entire season or the entire series of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is my Falcon and Winter Soldier review for episodes 1 through 6. The entirety of the series as a whole, not the individual episodes. Was this series good? What did it do for the MCU and for the characters? So I want to discuss it, but first I want to say that we found out yesterday that Captain America 4 is going to be coming at some point down the road, featuring the continuation of the storylines that were set in place here with this show. And before we go any further, I want to say that we are going to talk about spoilers for all 6 episodes of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. So if you have not seen it, it's on Disney Plus right now. Go check it out and then come back and check out my review for the entire series, as well as my individual reviews per episode. So, about Captain America 4, it's going to be about, obviously, here we go, spoilers, Falcon becoming the new Captain America, which was really this whole series was done to set that up. Like, you could have not done this series. You could have just done a situation where after Endgame, Sam takes the shield and becomes Captain America. But what this series was supposed to do is it was created this way, was structured this way by Kevin Feige and the creative team at MCU. It was structured this way in a way to get Falcon from being a sidekick type of character, a B-level character, and to upgrade him into becoming an A-list tier, or an A-list MCU character. That's why they did this. The whole story, the whole overarching story was that Sam didn't feel like he was worthy of being Captain America, and because of his interactions with the different characters that he would meet and run, interact with in this series, like, Bucky and U.S. Agent and, Zemo and, of course, Isaiah, these characters helped sort of directly or indirectly shape, and also don't forget Carly, shape the Falcon, shape Sam into accepting the fact that to be Captain America, you don't have to have blonde hair, blue eyes. You don't have to be a white guy. A black man can be Captain America, and you don't even have to be a super soldier. That's what this whole show, that's what the whole theme of this show was about. It was about taking Sam from a B sidekick character into being a top guy, like a main guy. And I think the writing was definitely effective. Now, here's the question. Does Anthony Mackie have the charisma to be a leading man? That's what I think this show was supposed to test. And I think that the answer is I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he has Chris Evans' charisma, because when you watch this show, he kind of has somewhat, he's a decent actor. I'm not saying he's bad, but he's not like on the level of other guys like Sebastian Stan, like, of course, Daniel Bruhl. Like, there's a lot of actors that were really, really good in this show. And actually, and don't even forget, to me, the guy who really surprised me was the Isaiah character. Like, that actor he wasn't a main guy, but he nailed it. He nailed it, yo. And I wonder how it's going to go. Now, I will say that Anthony Mackie did kind of bring it in the last episode. And he did kind of show that he has some charisma, but I don't know if he's going to be on the level of Chris Evans. But either way, if the writing is good, then the Captain America 4 movie could be good. Now, I want to discuss this show. So, some of the things that I loved about this show is that it was really well made as far as the special effects were good. The action sequences felt like it was a movie. Like, this was done so well that you could have put these episodes in theaters and it would have felt like an MCU movie. The sound design, the effects, all really well done. The story, though, is the main thing. And I really like the fact that this really took a look at the world during the snap and after, and how the snap changed people's perspectives on the world. The difference between this and WandaVision, both shows the whole purpose of these shows was done to develop these characters into being more popular and more important in the MCU. Obviously with Wanda and with Sam. Now, the MVP of WandaVision, I would say, was probably Vision. He was the most interesting part of that show, in my opinion. Here, I would say John Walker, Wyatt Russell did a really good job. He's not as good as his dad, but he did a really, really good job playing the U.S. agent. And I loved his sort of, fall from grace. Like, it's like the fall of U.S. agent and the rise of Sam. And I love the sort of the story that the government put him in there to be Captain America, but being Captain America does not mean just being a puppet for the government. If you go back and you examine the other Captain America movies, Winter Soldier, Civil War, and even the first one, you know, he's not. Captain America was never a puppet for the government. He was a guy who was a super soldier, and he wanted to basically create justice and bring truth and justice to the world because he's a good person, not representing America as a country. But as we know, both in the real world and in this fictional world, America is very corruptible. And that's what all these Captain America movies examine, including this one. I mean, hell, Sharon Carter is a heel now. I still don't even know why Sharon Carter is a villain. Like, obviously, we're going to find out in the future, but this was kind of a strange idea, and it felt weird to me as a viewer because that's uncharacteristic of her to be a villain. Why is she a villain? What turned her? And is that going to be a factor going forward? I think they definitely left it open for that. Obviously, some of the episodes in the middle I think could have been done better, but I did enjoy overall what they were going for. I liked that it really showed that different people have different perspectives about what is right and what is wrong. And I like I mentioned earlier, that each character really changed Sam. You know, they not just Steve Rogers, but other people. And you know, the series began with him not really being confident in taking up the mantle of Captain America, but by the end, it's like, dude, you got it. Like, you got the real juice, like in the movie Juice. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that they kind of wasted George St. Pierre's character, honestly. And I also felt like Julie Louis-Dreyfus, the whole idea behind that, we don't know if she's going to be a villain or a good person. That's the kind of the big trick here. And supposedly she was supposed to be, or she is in the Black Widow movie, but we're supposed to watch Black Widow first. But what happened was, because of the pandemic, Black Widow did not come out. But remember, she was supposed to be introduced in Black Widow, or so that's what I had heard. So this has changed things. But either way, I don't think it's gonna hurt the character. But we may find out more about her there. Some people thought that maybe the finale was too preachy, and I kind of understand why. The monologue went on a bit too long, but you know, the question is, did the finale stick the landing? And the answer is, I liked it better than the WandaVision was more fun, as far as like every week trying to figure out, you know, what was going on, you know, who's the villain, Quicksilver. We're all kind of wondering every week what's going on. This show is a bit more straightforward. There was a few mysteries here and there. Why did Zemo kill that guy? Or why is Sharon Carter doing this, which is still a mystery? You know, why is this person there? You know, what's going to happen with the U.S. agent? That's all good, and the writing was great for that. But it wasn't quite as fun as far as doing the guessing game and the speculation as WandaVision was. This was much more of an action kind of this is much more for kids, I feel. Even though WandaVision was obviously like, it wasn't like super violent or super sexualized, this was more like an adventure series. You know what I mean? WandaVision, I think, works better for adults because adults kind of grew up with these sitcoms that they were kind of parodying. This, to me, could be seen by anybody as just a fun adventure series, and it's generational. So to me, you know, this is much more palatable for the mainstream. And I think, and I'm surprised they didn't go with a season 2 after what happened here, because the show was effective. But if the show was done to get Falcon over as being a lead guy, I think it worked, but I still think he may end up being overshadowed by Sebastian Stan, because the Winter Soldier character is awesome. He's very beloved, and I really love that he had to struggle with letting go of his own past. Like, that's what the show did well, is that, yeah, I think that, honestly, the Winter Soldier was kind of wasted in the last episode, in my opinion, but his arc, where he had to kind of understand that, yeah, you did all these bad things, but you have to repent for them, and he is repenting for them, but he can't let it be a burden. And so there was a lot of good development there. And, you know, the whole mystery with Zemo, like, he's not dead yet, so I really do hope that he comes back, because he wasn't as interesting here as he was in Civil War, honestly, but that's okay, because if this is going to be a build-up to another Captain America movie, you know, go for it. It's just going to be weird because, you know, the Captain America 4 is not going to be directed by the Russos. And they did a great job with Captain America 2 and 3. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm just saying that I really like what Russo's do Captain America movies, but they're taking a break from the MCU. They might come back in the future. I was surprised we didn't see Steve Rogers at all in this. Like, they kind of, what's weird about the show is they kind of acted like Rogers was dead. Like, oh, well, he's gone. Like he's not dead, he's alive. Like, he's an old man, but at the end of Endgame, he's alive. I mean, they could have gone to go see him. I don't know. I felt like that was a little weird, honestly. I didn't like that too much because, they could have always gone to go see him. I really like how they incorporated the family members. Like, again, it was all about Sam. This show was all about Sam. It's called Falcon and Winter Soldier, but really it's about Sam. And it was, and I appreciated the fact that even though it didn't set up anything too big in the MCU except for Captain America 4 and some other things going on, maybe Thunderbolts, maybe some hints there, I appreciate the fact that both this and WandaVision tried their best to get, Wanda and the Falcon over as A-listers for the MCU going forward. So there's obviously a plan that Kevin Feige has, because you got to have a new Captain America in the Avengers. And I'm not saying that Falcon will lead the Avengers, although that may happen, but I think him being now confident to be a better hero is a good arc. So overall, it was a good character arc. Will I watch this show again? Not for a while, honestly. Same thing with WandaVision. Neither of these shows, I think, they were both good, don't get me wrong. But neither one, I think, were like grabbing me by the neck like Mandalorian did. Like Mandalorian, even though Mandalorian was episodic, like the episodes, I think, were a little bit more fun, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Here, though, it was probably better arcs, better overarching stories. So, but I will at some point watch the series again because it was a good time, and I do want to kind of analyze things a bit more. Overall, though, it was a good show. I mean, I don't know what y'all think about this, but 6 episodes, 45 minutes. I really like the fact that they didn't go with like 30 minutes for 12 episodes. It felt more loose and more open, and they could do more things, and they could slow things down. And, I was hoping for a bit more exploration of the world, but that's okay because they did plenty of it. And I'm curious about where the U.S. agent and his arc goes in the future. So they left a lot of things open for the future. With that being said, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you're new, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow for the Mortal Kombat spoiler review. So go see that movie as well, and we'll be back tomorrow. Talk to you then.